welcome to the Damn Dude Podcast. I'm your host, California Cal, and we're here to have the conversations that need to be had. Really, in a way that'll make you think and say, damn, dude, fuck, wow, damn. That was how this all occurred to me. It was like the people that I listened to and really inspired me, I would hear every time they would be talking, they would get inspired or hear something that was like a huge breakthrough or mind blowing, and they'd be like, damn, dude. So, same thing. I caught myself saying that all the time. I was like, conversations that I'd be having with different people that I meet or that I know would be like, damn, dude. So, that's what this show is and where it comes from. Because it's like those conversations that, especially a lot of dudes are afraid to have. Um, yeah, so it's kind of interesting. Anyway, oh, this is kind of just a random note for. So, this is, I, man, I just jumbled all my words. So, this is, episode 38, part 8 of Journey to Inner Peace. So we're going in, and just to catch you up, if this is your first time tuning in, why I went about this is because it all started off with extreme anxiety, extreme panic attacks, leaving my job during a mandatory meeting, uh, not being able to even hang out with my friends without like freaking out, getting hot, feeling panic attacks, start sweating, shaking, the whole thing, not being able to talk, just feeling like the world's closing in on me. Um, Also, that led to, really investing and going full time into my career all the way. And on top of that, just kind of like some of the shit I've been through to why I would even need to seek inner peace or go on a journey of inner peace is because as a kid, when I was 6, my little sister, my great aunt, my grandma all passed away in the same month. Growing up, I would get chased home by bullies. Grew up around gangbangers. Grew up in like in the real gangbang era in the '90s. In Mira Mesa, Mecca Um, back when it was wild over here, and like anybody who's around knows that shit is true. Like there's people that are dead over it. People with scars. People with tattoos. The whole thing. And so from there, growing up, I kind of was involved in that lifestyle a lot and was really around that. Um, I survived it, never joined a gang, fortunately. I got accused of murder as I got older, got my house raided. Uh, I wasn't allowed to hang out with people or go places or whatever. I was on police surveillance for like a year, 2 years, something like that. Year and a half, 2 years. Uh, what else? And then as I got older, I was gonna be a firefighter. I ended up breaking my skull, neck, and back. Dropped out of firefighter school. Got fired from my job. My ex had gotten pregnant by somebody else. Um, and my two best friends got murdered. So that all happened at the same time. And then, and in between that, my rest in peace, Dorothy, who was like a second mom to me, she passed away when I was 15. So I just kept, and then I knew a lot of people who passed away growing up. I just like, kept inquiring so much pain and all this, getting into fights and this and that, and trouble getting kicked out of school. Um, like just being like straight F student. Uh, so it's like I had a lot of shit going on. Grew up poor, grew up hungry and funky ass clothes and all this. And it's like, my parents provided enough for me to eat, but it was like it would often be like it was struggle food for sure. When it's like you got the big ass 50-pound bag of beans and 50-pound bag of rice, and that's your food for like the month. It's kind of like, yeah, man, like rice and beans is cool and all, but like, fuck, man, like, shit, I can only do so much of this, that causes curiosity and rebellion, and, well, I used to go and steal shit and whatever, and it's like, created all this bad karma for myself, and I created this whole, like, anybody who gets close to me dies sort of way of thinking, because that's what I kept proving to myself over and over. It's like, oh, well, my little sister, my grandma, my aunt, they loved me so much, I love them so much. They were the closest to me, so of course they passed away. My second mom, same thing, boom. My best friends passed away, they get murdered, boom. Like, so it kind of just seemed like I just kept kind of proving those life experiences to myself. So, catching us up without going on too long here, the last thing, so that all led to meditation, to a meditation journey, Vipassana meditation, that also led to, different types of meditation I would just randomly study. Um, and also all of that led to going to the jungle in Peru, like 5 hours into the Amazon jungle, and and participating in ayahuasca ceremonies. And yeah, so on the last one where we left off was on the last ceremony and coming back into town. So I'm gonna pick up right there is like coming home and the experience like after coming home, and really the next pillar of what I did to help obtain my personal inner peace and what I did to go on that journey uh was so coming home was a trip, dude. Everything kind of seemed surreal. It was like I really noticed how like fucking in America, it was like, dude, we got so much space and so much safety, and everybody has such big plots of land, and there's so much fucking areas to hang out. And it's like over there in Peru is like fucking everything's like crammed together and they use all the space. I'm like, damn, out here in America, we're living large, dude. Like, we got hella land, hella space. Like, fuck, and the most of us aren't even appreciating this shit. Like, that sucks. Like, if you got a yard, dude, like people over there that's like, well, a yard for what? Like, what's it for? Like they don't even understand. I was explaining how the houses are set up and this and that, and like when I was in Peru, and they're just kind of confused, like, why you need all that? Okay, this is weird. So I started seeing that perspective as I'm coming. I'm like, dude, this is a trip. So it was really just a big perspective change, just from what I was physically looking at. But the next biggest thing was really like all the lessons that I had learned. How can I apply them now that I'm actually back here? I took all this information, I learned all this information that I learned on this information highway that I got onto via plant medicines and the ancient technology that they contain. So if you can even dig that at all, then it's like this makes sense. So I'm like, that's the thing is like a lot of people who will use plant medicines or different things or have huge breakthroughs. Excuse me. The big question is like, well, how do I apply all of this now? If you've done personal development or anything like that, like, excuse me. I keep like having hiccups, or if like you read a book, and it's really like, holy shit, like if you read like Think and Grow Rich or like something, or like Way of the Superior Man or something that's just like mind blowing, it really takes a long time for it to be like, what just happened? Like what did I just read? Like it takes a hella long to process, um, what you took in. So that's kind of how it felt when I came home, and a long time had to go by before I like felt any motivation or anything. I just kind of came home so happy and open. I'm kind of like, yeah, like I didn't really feel like putting a lot into my business. I didn't feel like putting into anything like that. I was kind of just like, I don't know, it was weird. I wasn't resigned, but I was just like very content. I was like very it was weird because it's like it's a good and a bad thing. I was very satisfied. I was really happy with where I was at, and I was just like didn't do anything. And that's a dangerous place to be because it's like it's good. It's not. I don't think it's good to live in continuous satisfaction because it's like then we don't that there's no room to actually fully appreciate when we do that. So that in between space of the hard work and the waiting and the patience and all that, it's like that's what makes things really worth having. Um, if you could work out once and you had muscles, it's like everybody would be in shape and it wouldn't be special. You know what I mean? Um, so yeah, so life at home, I was just we stayed planted for a little while, and we just, we're there, raised the kid. We were living in IB. Yeah, we moved home, got a place in IB. Um, we were a block from the beach on fucking Second and Dahlia. It was fucking badass, man. I love IB, dude. Shout out to all my folks in IB. Um, Man, I fucking love IB, especially fucking Miles. What up, Miles? I fucking love you, brother. You already know, dude. If you ever hear this, bro, you know it's fucking nothing but love, homie. Um, Man, shit, especially that night, those fools were trying to jump me inside 7-Eleven. You and the homie rolled through. Bro, how much I appreciate that, dude. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, bro. Um, yeah, shit was real, and I understand I was new to the hood too, and it's like shit's real, you know what I mean? I understand the rules, and they caught me slipping, man. But I should say, and I appreciate you for coming through and having my back, man. Just know I'll do the same. So thank you, brother. Uh, anyways, moving forward, life was like I just explained, kind of just kicking back, chilling, just doing my thing, kind of just enjoying where I was at was really like the theme of it, I think. And so after a while, I get a message from the homegirl Abby, and it was kind we were kind of like half joking because I was posting stuff about my swim business or something like, hey, if you gather enough people or something like, I can come out and teach you. Oh, that wasn't a joke. It was just a post, and or an advertisement, whatever you want to call it. And and she messaged me like, hey, like I don't really have like a big group of kids, but I can get you out here for fucking cheap. It's like a vacation. You can stay, da da da. And I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, well, like, let me talk to my husband, Adam. Shout out, Adam. She's like, yeah, like, it's just, let me make sure it's cool, but like, he works for the airlines, he can hook you up, da da da. I'm like, what? No way. Like, all right, cool, fuck. So I was just like, really? And I didn't have much money at the time either. So it was just kind of like, I had enough money to like go out and, like, I had enough money to like eat food. Not really like buy much, but I got to eat food, and food's fucking expensive in Hawaii if you don't know. Um, so we work the whole thing out. I come out there and I stay with them. We have the time of our life, man. Like I'm helping them learn to surf and swim and stuff like that. And oh, and it's just the coolest thing. I'm out there for 2 weeks, and the first week I was out there, and then it was just me. And then my homie Larry actually came through the second week. Shout out Larry, what up? Fucking Larry, fucking love you, dude. We gotta go surf soon. Um, anyway, we go out there and just fucking living it up. And at the time, I call my ex. I'm like, hey, like this place is fucking tight. Da da da. She's like, dude, let's move out there. Like kind of jokingly, I'm like cracking up. I'm like, all right, shit, let's go. And then she's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, for real, for real. All right. So I come home, we sold everything we owned for in a week, and fucking boom, moved out to Hawaii. And that shit was crazy because I'm out there and money burns fucking fast in Hawaii, dude. Everything is so fucking expensive. Like to buy water. Like certain areas I lived, like, nah, bro, you just drink the tap water. It's filtered through the volcanoes. You're fucking straight. I'm like, I guess, I'm drinking it, whatever. But some of it tasted kind of bad. So I was like, man, I'm trying to buy me some water. But the fucking water is like 3, 4, 5 bucks for a gallon. It's like, damn, man, this is crappy water too. And then gas is expensive and food's expensive as fuck. So I fucking made it a mission. I found out where all the like little fruit stands are at where you can get free fruit or where it grows wild or in nature or something. So I'm out there and I start running out of money. And I'm like, fuck, dude, I got a girl and a kid. Like, I can't be running out of money. Fuck. So, like, I've told him past stories. I'll try and tell the quick version of this one. Uh, so we're in Hawaii. I fucking run out of money, dude. And I'm like, there comes a point where I'm standing at the gas station and I put my last $12 into the gas pump. We had all eaten that night, but we needed to get home. I needed to get my kids to school. Then I needed to get my son to school the next day. And uh yeah, and then we need to eat. So I put my last $12 in the gas tank and I'm fucking standing there. I'm just closing my eyes and like tears start coming to my eyes. I'm like, I fucking failed, man. Like I failed as a man, I failed as a business person, I failed as a father, I failed as a partner. And I'm just standing there, I'm just taking a deep breath, and then finally I just like slow down, I fucking take some deep breaths. Reality comes back and I just start asking myself these questions in my head. It's like, all right, like, do you guys need to eat right now? Are you fed? Do you have enough food to live right now? I'm like, yes. All right. It's like, do you have enough gas to get to where you need to go? Do you have shelter tonight? I'm like, yes. And I'm going through these questions like that through my head, and then all of a sudden, fucking guy on a motorcycle pulls up, and he rolls up, and he's like, hey. And it's funny because it was kind of the same type of motorcycle I had. So as I'm standing there kind of just like stressing out and like getting myself back to center, He's like, bro, like, hold on a sec. And I'm like, or at first I was like, hey, nice bike, man. Just kind of try and like get myself back to being present. And he's like, oh, thanks. And he comes up, he asks me a couple questions. Hey, what's your name? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, he's like, you know what? Hold on. Don't go anywhere. I'm like, the fuck? Like, okay. So he runs into the gas station. It's taking a while. And I'm kind of standing there. I'm kind of like getting like, what do I do? I'm starting to feel awkward. And my girl in the car, she's like, hey, what are you doing? Like, you ready? And I'm like, yeah, hold on. Like, this guy said he wants to talk to me. He said not to go anywhere. I'm like, she's like, weird. Is it cool? Like, is he sketchy? I'm like, no, no, no. It's like, it's cool. I'm just kind of confused. She's like, okay. So I'm just standing there. I take a couple breaths. He runs outside and he runs back to me and he looks me in the eye and he shakes my hand and he hands me a wad of cash. And he was like, and he looks me in the eye and he's like, Jesus loves you, brother. You're blessed. And he hops on his motorcycle and fucking takes off. And I look at this wad of cash. Keep in mind, I just ran out of money. I put my last $12 to my name into the gas to get us home. He hands me the wad of cash, fucking complete stranger. And it was exactly enough money that I needed to buy work tools to start working for my homie who offered me. He's like, bro, if you can afford work tools, I will hire you to do some work out in the farms and shit. And I was like, are you serious? And it was crazy because he would always like be very vague about what he actually did. And I'm like, the fuck, dude? Like, all right, like, yeah, I didn't need anything, bro. I got so desperate, I applied at 7-Eleven. And when dude, I applied at 7-Eleven. I went back in so many times. I went and followed up. I phone calls, the whole thing. I literally would show up in person back to this fucking 7-Eleven. I could not get a call back. I could get nothing. Oh, I couldn't even get hired for the worst position in 7-Eleven. And I was like stressing out. But this dude comes up, hands me a wad of cash, tells me Jesus loves me, tells me I'm blessed, and takes off. And it's more than enough money to buy my tools. It's enough money for me to buy the tools, feed us for the next like 2 days, and get my kid to and from school for the next 2 days as well. But I was able to start working, boom, the next day. Literally, the next morning I went, first thing I got up, bam, bought all my tools, bought a pickaxe, bought a shovel, bought a knife, bought all the shit dude told me I needed. And I'm like, all right, cool. Like, what do I do? And he's just like, and he's just cracking up. He's like, well, you know what? You'll come with us. This is a very special thing. He's like, it's not quite legal and it's not quite illegal. I'm like, bro, like, I'm not doing anything illegal. Like, I got a kids, dude. Like, I'll fucking work my ass off at whatever. I know how to hustle. I'll fucking, I got to the point where I was gonna go sell sand on the beach to tourists and shit. And keep in mind, I know it sounds crazy. I could prove this too, actually. But I have this, there's a certain sand. I know it sounds crazy, but there's a certain soft sand that you can find on the west side in Oahu and Lanikai. And there's these certain little pockets that when you're all deep enough, it's like this, like, velvety, like, it's like smooth. It's almost like putty or something. It's so weird. It doesn't even come across as like grainy. So when you put it in your hands or your body and you and you scrub yourself and then you rinse it off, it's like you have the absolute smoothest feeling skin ever. And it was one of those things where every single person I showed it to, they're like, "Yo, my skin's legit, like way nicer. Like the hell that actually worked." So I was gonna use these old cheesecake containers, which were these little like mini mason jar things, and I was gonna pack them and sell them each for like $12, $15, and say, oh, like beauty care and just fucking hustle them, go old school and go around the park, the mall, whatever, and just like come up to people, hey, what's up? Let me see, blah, blah, blah. And then, so like I was getting very, very desperate for work and I wasn't trying to go do illegal shit. And he's like, bro, like half the time I could pay you in weed and the other half the time I can pay you in cash. And I'm like, you know what? As long as what I'm doing is cool and legal, cool. So he's like, cool, bro, I got you. No worry. So I'm like, all right, I get to start fucking working. We get to go to the farm. I'm like, what the fuck is the farm? And like, I think what a lot of people think when I say like, oh, we're going to the farm is like they think of weed or something. But I gotta tell this so I don't so it keeps the integrity to what it is. So I'm gonna I'm gonna tell you guys the truth about this all the way, but I've got to leave some details about it out, and I think you won't even notice that details are out in the way. Okay, let me just gather my thoughts real quick. Okay, so what my job was to go out and harvest this certain type of, let's call it root. And it was my job to take that root and bring it back. And that root eventually, like beyond the next people, is eventually turns into DMT. So what I was doing was, I would, I would go up to, I would go to the sacred land. I'm not gonna say where it's at, and I'm not gonna say what type of plant, but I would have to go up, and what my job was I would have to go up, and I would have to ask permission of the land. It was crazy, and like Mother Nature, and I was literally trained to do this, and it was weird because I would go up, and there was probably like four times where the land answered no. And people would always ask me whenever I explain this, like, well, how does nature or land like tell you no? And I'm like, well, in my experience, what happened with this case is like I would have to go up and bring fruit and bring offerings and shit like that. And I would have to come up and almost like say a little like prayer or meditation or like moment of silence sort of deal and ask permission. It's like, hey, is it okay if I come and I harvest today? And keep in mind, this is like old sacred stuff. So on the days it said no, literally like a black cloud would come over, like it would turn dark. And in Hawaii too, it just has the ability to just boom, turn black like immediately. And because it'll just come in and just start fucking pouring rain, and then boom, bright sunny, come in, turn dark, and then bright sun. So it was to the point where it was like no coincidence. It was like I said it, and it was completely timed with how a response would time when you were to ask something a question. And so that was my job. So like I said, I would get paid in cash or weed half the time. And mm, basically I was like, yo, like we get to be the medicine man of the people. It's like this is what the people who teach the people how to really live aloha get their teachings from. Because like I said, in my experience with plant medicines, they contain ancient technologies which essentially allow us to travel different information highways and gain certain understandings which come back and we can in turn interpret and apply them to real life, if that makes sense. If you listen to the last episodes, then I'm sure you're like, oh yeah, of course. But um, you know what I mean? So I got to be responsible for being one of those people, and with my position, I wasn't doing anything illegal. I was literally just going and harvesting roots, and the root itself is not illegal whatsoever. It's just it's that's so weird to think. Like you can literally have a root, and if you extract, and you just extract down to like the smallest molecules, you're left with some DMT, and you're left with other particle like elements and shit. So it's trippy that you can have the root, but if you boil it down and you take one piece of the root, then all of a sudden it's illegal. It's so weird, right? Like it's a trip. So I made sure that I stayed on the legal side, and my understanding was that this shit goes and gets sent to some, let's call them scientists, like legitimate high up in very famous working hmm, what do you call them? Like dude, I don't even know how to explain what to call it. But dudes who are like very high up in the world of science and shit like that, they take it. So, like for example, you ever wonder how scientists discovered the God molecule? Was it Higgs on Bose? I might be saying that wrong, but you ever wonder how like what were they studying that they got that from? Was it legal? Was it DMT? Was it something else? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck? What were they doing? Where'd they get that from? So it's kind of funny because what I learned is that these high up scientists get something that's not legal or illegal. So they're from an anonymous source and they don't even know that it's the specific route that they're receiving. It's been like ground down to such a fine molecule physically that when they receive it, they extract from that, and then that's where they're getting the information for these crazy particles and all this shit. And it's like I don't know any of these people, but this is just what got explained to me. So yeah, it's a fucking trip, dude. So that was my job is I would go up and harvest roots, which essentially I guess somebody down the line would harvest in the DMT. But what's also interesting is the same root, they would use it to make tea and dyes and colorings and paintings. Because as soon as I went to the Amazon jungle, I saw the same type of root used for painting pictures. And I was like, what the? Wow, crazy. And I was like, yeah, you guys know what this is? And they're like, yeah, they're just laughing because in the jungle, they know all about DMT and which plants have it and don't and whatever. So yeah, it's pretty crazy, man. So on that note, we're gonna take a quick break real quick and we'll be after these messages, we'll be right back. What up, everybody? We bike. So yeah. Let me think where to pick this up. So where we left off was, well, you guys were just there. I guess I don't really need to recap. I was gonna do it for my own sake of thinking out loud. Um, so we harvest it, and I got offered a few times to try it, not my own that I harvest. Well, see, that's the thing is I don't even like to take ownership of it because when it turned illegal, if it's weird because DMT is illegal. I don't know if it's illegal everywhere in some places or what the rules are on it. It's not something that's not really like I don't know. It was like I couldn't just go and get some. I don't know anywhere to like you know what I mean? I don't know people like that. Well, I mean that I can think of anyway. But like, um, oops. So I'm getting all sidetracked. Damn it. Sorry, I'm messing stuff up. I was trying to clean my like soundboard, and I kind of went overboard. Anyway, and I just smoked a bowl and kind of started trailing off. So let's get back on the track here. um, so I had these miracles happening in Hawaii where it's like, dude hooked me up. Apparently Jesus came by and blessed me, and then. And apparently Jesus rides a supermoto. um, so it's like I had those miracles around like work and life lessons and the insight, and then not to mention like the times I would go surfing and what I learned from the ocean and just how fucking godly the waves are and the power of the energy. And I had some crazy super woo woo out there shit where I had a conversation with the protector of like Diamond Head and Waikiki, and I also had a conversation with like the god of wind. And I know that shit sounds crazy as fuck. I can talk about it, you can make fun of it, whatever you want. And it's like I get both sides to it, but certain times some things are just so real that it's like, bro, like you can laugh all you want, like it's not gonna make me not believe what I saw and had during that interaction. You know what I mean? So uh yeah, man. So it's a trip. So we're just kind of going along. Eventually, it's time to like start to move back to California because we ended up. I don't know. It was just more beneficial for us to come back. We had appointments and work and this and that, and setting up shop in Hawaii is really, really, really hard if you are not fucking caked up, stacked. Like you need some fucking cheese. Like you gotta have some money to afford setting up in Hawaii anything legitimate. And there's literally these people. They're called the fuck. Is that what they're called? The Northside Narcs or the Oahu Narcs? Damn, I forget what the name is, but there's this group of basically there's a group of Karens before Karens got called Karens, and they're in Hawaii and they literally just drive around snitching and checking and permit checking people That like they're not affiliated with anybody. They're just rich as fuck and have nothing else to do. And they or their husbands are politicians or who knows, you know. So they go around and literally they go to the people teaching surf lessons. Oh, do you have your permit? Blah blah blah. Your license? And they're like, no, leave me alone. Blah blah. And then if you don't do what they want, then they call the cops or whoever, or Better Business Bureau, whoever is in charge, to come down and check all your shit. And then they fucking just stay on you until somebody comes and legitimately pulls your card and they actually fucking run your file and you're legitimate. And if you're not, then you're paying hella fines and you gotta shut down shop and your chances of coming back again are like way tougher. So I was trying to find a pool to teach kids to swim, and it's like it's not really your place to go to Hawaii and teach surfing to like people like, you know, tourists and shit. It's like in my case, it was like friends from here and we were comfortable and it just made sense, you know. And I know what I'm doing. Um but excuse me. So we're just going through and it comes time to like move back to California, San Diego specifically. And I was like, cool, you know. And like I said, miracles kept happening. I ran out of money again because work slowed up and I wasn't able to work for a couple weeks. And I was like, fuck, dude. So, and then there's a few times he was only able to pay me in weed and not cash. And I'm like, oh, this is fuck, dude. Like, we need to eat. Like, fuck, bro. So I was hustling this here and there, whatever. And like, um, so on the last day, my roommates that I had at the last place I was living, they were like, bro, like, you're one of the coolest roommates we've ever had. Like, I just kind of feels like you could use this money more than we could. So here's your whole deposit back. And I was smashing out early and I was fully supposed to give them the deposit. And that allowed me to pay actually the extra fee to get all the way to the airport with a taxi. That and my taxi guy in Hawaii they charge you per if you have luggage you have to pay extra if it goes in the trunk of the taxi. If you have things of certain weight or certain shapes, they have to charge you per weight of it to drive. It's really fucking weird. But and I didn't know this and the dude's like, "Oh man, blah blah blah." He's like, "Bro, like you're cool." He's the same guy who texted me, "Hey, like he's like, "Hey, I'm passing Turtle, bitch." And but really, he was a Vietnamese guy, and he was texting his phone. He's like, "Passing Turtle Beach." He's like, "I'm passing Total Bitch," and I was like, "What?" Like, okay, and sure. But so he showed up, and he was just cool as fuck. Dude was with the shits, and like we were vibing immediately. He's like, nah, man, nah, man." Like he was like one of those cool ass like if you know what I'm talking about, you get the stereotype I'm saying. Like type of Vietnamese dude where he's kind of like tall, skinny, older, has like the Steve glasses on, like the dark like Oakley type like fishing almost not quite baseball glasses, and with the full like combed over hair, super quick moving, smokes a cigarette, skinny. Oh no, what's up, dog? Oh shit. Oh no, over here, dog. Oh no, hey, anything you need, dog, I got you, dog. Like he was like that, and I was like, hey, like we were hella vibing because I hella fuck with fucking people like that. You know, growing up in Mira Mesa, there's hella Vietnamese, so I was hella comfortable. I was like, man, what's up? We were just vibing, blah blah. Not even a quarter way through the trip, he's like, dog, anything you need, I got you, homie. Like, you need, I don't even gotta say it, you already know. You know, like, whatever you need, you ask me, I got you, bro, anything. And I was like, he's like, I was like, all right, yeah, yeah, cool, man. I know what you mean. He's like, yeah, man, I got you, dog. Like, you need a burner, you need fucking, you need weed, you need drugs, you need pills. I was just like, damn, bro, like, thank you, man, thank you, thank you. He said all this shit that I was like, I have no interest in ever fucking dealing with, but I was like, man, I know the streets well enough to, you know, show respect when somebody's offering that. It's like, that's a huge level of trust. I was like, oh, yeah, yeah, thank you, man. Like, I appreciate you, you know. But, so we drive down there and all of our stuff, we had it at our other friend's house, at our shaman teacher's house, where we also stayed for a while. Lynn, shout out Lynn. Uh, Magic ass Lynn in Kalihi, at the end of Kalihi. If you guys know beautiful Lynn in the wheelchair, rode a motorcycle across the country in a wheelchair. Lynn is a fucking badass. Shout out to Lynn. Much love. I love you. Thank you for everything you do and have done for us and the island and the people. Yeah, you're something else. Um, anyways, where was I going? Oh, so we had our stuff at her house. I had my motorcycle there. I still had to drop it off. We still had to drop the car off at fucking what was it called, like Pasha or whatever, to get transferred on the get the car shipped home. That's what I'm trying to say. And so I'm like, and my homie's like, bro, like, you want it? He's like, bro, this is some of the DMT that came from what you harvested. And I was like, are you serious? I was like, bro, I don't know what it was till I was like, man, I think I'm ready. And it was crazy because I literally had like 25 minutes to go from the house I was at to mm, hmm. So it took me like I didn't have much time. So okay, so I get on my motorcycle, get all my stuff, and then I go meet up with my homie. Okay, I'm getting all sidetracked. Yeah. Okay, so then I grab all my stuff, I go meet up with my homie, I go over to his pad, and then I'm there and he's like, yeah, this is what part of from what you made. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, well, you know what I mean, harvested, whatever. And I was like, wow, like something had just been calling me, like, man, like I think you need to do this. I've been scared to the whole time, and I just declined every time he'd offer. And then maybe not scared, it just wasn't right. I wasn't feeling it. And I really believe that when it comes to like plant medicines and things like that, you should really be, it should be calling for you, or you should be feeling it. Excuse me. So we go and I fucking take it, and he walks me through and he holds space for me, and I rip it and I smoke it through a kind of like a little dab rig sort of thing. I don't remember if we used the Healthstone. It's a little bit old school for smoking wax and shit, but like that is really good, and or like a dab rig sort of deal. Because too much heat kills it and it does nothing for you. So I did that. He's helping me out. Boom, 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 boom. Bam! All of a sudden, fucking, I just feel my shoulders get hotter than anything I've ever fucking felt in my life. And I look up and there's like a fucking 200-foot like warrior god thing, like just holding my body down. It like literally dug like he had like fucking his fingers were like claws and just holding me down. And oh, I never felt anything so hot. And I remember I physically touched my shoulders too, and I was just like, I started screaming. It was burning so bad. And my interpretation was that, how do I even say this so it makes sense? So later on, I figured out, I'm like, who was that? And I had kept, in the entire time, and then prior to that, Metatron had kept appearing for me. His symbol, words, and just like dreams. And I would have dreams, or I would meditate, and then in my meditation in the dream world, in like almost dream state, I would have conversations with him, or he would instruct me, or shit like that. And it was just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, you can make what you want, but it was very real to me, and it could have very well been imagination, but it was deep in that because I really felt it and it really left an impact. So it is what it is. I'd choose for that to be a real experience for me. Um, so I look up, and that was who it was holding me down, and I feel like he was keeping my earth, making sure I stayed here on earth and that I separated safely, like my soul. That's why they say you're blasting off, because like, whew, and I did that, and I was just kind of like, holy shit, like, wow. So that happened, and I'm just going, and I have my eyes closed because I just want to have like conversation type of like experience. I don't want to like trip out just to trip out. So I'm closing my eyes, and it's just like I'm like going through dimensions and dimensions, and all of a sudden I'm like, I know exactly where the fuck I'm at. I know exactly where the fuck I'm at. And it was crazy because it was the same world that ayahuasca brought me to. Is the same dimension, I should say. And I'm there, and I'm like, whoa, like this is amazing, dude. Like, holy shit. And I'm just there, like, dude, I know exactly how to navigate. I know where things are at. And I just started fucking going around, and then all of a sudden I was like, okay, okay, chill. Like, all of a sudden I started having conversations like, bro, like slow down, like learn some, what are your questions? What do you have to ask? And what's going on, And I'm like, I'm just going around. I don't really know, because I didn't really know what to expect. I wasn't expecting, I don't know, I kind of didn't have any expectations, but I definitely wasn't expecting to go to where I already was familiar with in that world, which really tripped me out. So I open my eyes and then all of a sudden I come back and like I open my eyes and what I see is like these crazy, it was almost like a it was like an art celebrate. It was like an art and energy and light celebration for me. And it was like I got to see these like spinning circles with different layers inside. Like imagine a big circle with a ton of circles inside of it and then like there's like bricks within or like sections in each one. I don't know, but there was like symbols that went around in each of the circles in the circle in the circles, and they were from every part of the world, every language that exists. There was a symbol from it. So it was like ancient Egyptian symbols. There's like ancient like Irish and Catholic symbols. There's ancient Chinese symbols. There was ancient African symbols. There was ancient Arabic symbols. There was like ancient Hawaiian stuff. It was just like all in these spinning circles. The most beautiful thing I'd ever seen. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, and it was weird because this thing, it was like communicating to me almost. And I was like, huh, I was just like, wow, oh my God. It was like the feeling of how beautiful it was is like almost like orgasmic. Like, oh, like it just like I don't even know, dude. It's just such a like whoa, like oh my God, it's so beautiful. It's like so deep and like basically what it told me or what I gathered or what I told myself, I guess, I don't even know how to say it, um, was that the questions we ask of the universe and the world dictate the life we live. So literally, what we ask is what our life is. Another way I wrote it is to kind of make it make sense too was the questions we ask of life dictate our quality of life. The questions we ask of life dictate our quality of life. And that's true as fuck because if you what are you spending your time asking about? You know what I mean? Are you asking, oh, I'm not good enough? That's a it's like that's what you're asking of yourself. What's your self-talk? What are you saying to yourself? And I realized that it's like, holy shit, well if I ask, why is everybody so annoying? Then that's my reality. My reality is gonna be that that's the quality of my life because that's the question I'm asking. If I go out, my perspective is, why are people so beautiful? Then obviously, how am I gonna see people in life? And it's like these little tricks to train our brain and to grow them are so real and so useful, and it's completely overlooked. And I think these are kind of what this whole journey to inner peace series and documentation is just a way to like it's almost like my personal roadmap to happiness. And it's like, look, here's a platform basically that the whole thing what it describes and points to is emotional intelligence. And for me, I'm doing that in the most simple way possible, where it's like I'm going out and I'm learning, I'm experiencing it, and I'm doing it for myself to really do this for myself, like that's the only way we're gonna like be fulfilled and happy by the end of the day, I think. Um, and it's crazy because I realized that's how I used to look at it, like, man, like why motherfuckers gotta be so sketchy around here? And they were like, man, why do people like, man, why do women gotta be so mean? Why are women such liars? Oh, why are fucking it even goes into different races and people do that too. It's like, oh, why are white people like this? Oh, why are black people like this? Oh, why do Asian people act this way? Oh, why do Mexicans do this? And it's like it's innocent to a certain point. And then at a certain point it kind of crosses a line. And I think a lot of people don't have the mindfulness or emotional intelligence to understand that line or to see it when it presents itself. Because a lot of times, if we had emotional intelligence when shit got kind of crazy, we would just stop and check ourselves. We'd be like, oh, well, that's just how that person feels about it. And that has nothing to do with me. Just because you think crazy shit about politics, why should I be offended? You know what I mean? Like, really, it's like if you think crazy shit, why is that offensive to me? That's none of my business unless I ask about it. Or you think that I need to hear it because it's that important to you. And if it's that important to you, I'll hear you out. I have people who I disagree with all the fucking time on. Fuck, we cut off somewhere. I don't know, but I was saying is like, I don't know, we're all the same. We all put on our, like that boss said, we all put on our pants one leg at a time. Like we're no different. I'm no better than you. You're no better than me. Like that's that's what it is, you know? And yeah, you're right. Then another thing I learned too in personal development class at Landmark was like, dude, like we got to sit in a room with like several hundred people, and they had us close our eyes and just do this visualization practice or exercise, and it was like we got to imagine, because you can, it's like you can feel people, other people's energy. So it's like if somebody's staring at you, you can kind of tell, if you stare at somebody long enough with enough intention, they'll like look at you like, oh, what the fuck. um so like we'd be in this room, and then we're just like visualizing, like imagine every person in here is as scared of you as you are of them. I was like, holy shit. Like, and I mean, just me describing this isn't really that like, oh my God. But like when you do the exercise and you do it how they had us do it, I'm butchering the explanation, but that was like the simplified years later version. Uh, but you're visualizing that and you're like, damn, this, wow, man, like it's kind of true. We all are. And it's like, once you see several hundred people acknowledge the same thing, that like, yeah, like, fuck, I feel like I'm afraid of everybody else or whatever, and like in some way, shape, or form. Like I said, I'm kind of butchering that explanation, but it's really amazing the power of like group work and sharing and speaking publicly, because it gives people the chance to relate and really be like, holy fuck, like me too. I really get to understand and see what you're talking about, and I get to transform my life through your sharing, and that's dope as fuck.
Damn, dude.
Because that's the thing, is like I said before, pain is universal.
Damn, dude.
Pain and suffering is not unique to any single person. Like it's really not, but it feels like it is. And that's what's crazy, is it always feels like it. That's what's so weird. Like, okay, oh, like you're so hurt you broke up with your boyfriend or girlfriend or husband or wife. But realistically, how many people have broken up with a girlfriend or husband or wife or boyfriend? Like hella. Yeah, it hurts like crazy, and it's smart and it's wise to feel it, but it's like it's not unique. It just seems like it. Oh, I got fired. It's the end of the, no, it's like that's fine. That's not unique, dude. How many people have gotten fired and you're cool? Like, oh, I can't afford this. I can't afford that. I can't pay this. That's not unique. It's not even, you're gonna be fine. It just feels like you're not. The trick is just kind of go just a little bit beyond that, and that's where fucking success lies. So within all this shit, with my whole DMT journey and all that, another thing that I got from all the miracles and all the lessons I learned, I kind of got to this point where I was so in tune with life and the universe that I really stopped caring about money. Like I stopped giving a fuck about money, dude. Like after this point, I don't know, I had this realization in a very like monk sort of way, or like Buddhist sort of way, where it's like the world will not let me starve. And not where it's like, oh, I'm going to go be a freeloader and people got to take care of me, but more so, if I'm a good person and I go around and I'm open and I do good, nobody will let me go hungry. Like it's hard to be in the to be anywhere in America and really like starve to death. I mean, you got the exception of like Skid Row and places like that, which is really real. At the same time, it's like the universe won't let you starve, because any person who's there that's still there hasn't starved yet. Clearly. Um so coming back, it was like I was super zenned out and super at peace, and at the same time it made it really rough. Relationship, home, bills, having a new baby, all of that, when you got no fucking money and no drive to make any money. That was the hardest shit, man. So leading up to the next piece of Journey to Inner Peace is like, at this point I thought I had it, but then I realized not having money was fucking me up, and not in the way that I thought that, oh, the stress of it. It was more so like the reality of not being able to pay shit would hit me, seeing interest occur, not being able to have enough money to go buy formula or like things like that is like, holy fuck, dude. Like that's that shit like that really disrupts inner peace. So I'm like, I just did all this inner work and I'm all zenned out, but at the same time, I'm hella disrupted in my mind and in my soul and in my way of living. So it just, fuck, man, I just so stopped caring about money because I was just more like, how to train my inner thoughts, how to be a good person, how to overcome myself, really, you know? That's the biggest thing, and I'm still working on it. It's always still a journey. So after this, I ended up just kind of, I wouldn't say I was being a bum because I was still working, but I wasn't making shit. I was making fucking, I wasn't making shit. So, and then the pandemic hit, and then, yeah, oh, so right before the pandemic hit is when I went to Peru for the next time. And holy shit.
Damn, dude.
We're going to get into that one on the next part of Journey to Inner Peace, which will be part 9, episode 39. And we're going to go into this one. We're headed back out to the jungle again with a different shaman to a different place, this time off to Manakamiri Island. And I'm going by my damn self with no translators and no money. I had to fucking, it got to the point where I'm trading weed for a ride to the airport and some crazy shit. And I almost got stuck in Peru and the whole thing. And yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy. So on that note, we're going to wrap this episode up. Hope you guys had a beautiful day and enjoyed this episode. And I hope you guys are really getting something out of this Journey to Inner Peace series, because fucking really laying it down to document this and make sure that we got all the rhythm and rhyme and the worthwhile time to put this down and have good vibes and to teach good lessons and to go on and to not be stressing and to receive more blessings, because that's the way that George Jefferson said that we need to get down with Abraham Lincoln to free ourselves, to not chop down the cherry tree, to come through and win and do it for charity. So I love you guys. Have a beautiful note. Say 3 things you're grateful for every morning, every night, and your life will improve significantly. I promise you that. So on that note, make sure you go follow us on Instagram at Damn Dude Podcast and leave us some reviews, leave us some comments. Also leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts, as well as anywhere else that you could do that. Listen notes, all that good stuff. So on that note, Rooster Tail, take us out. That's at Rooster Tail, TALE official on Instagram and wherever music is found. Have a beautiful day. Much love. Peace. Boom. Much love, guys. Oops, wrong one.
Damn, dude.
Have a beautiful day.
Damn, dude.